Last year, I made $100,000 in trading profits. This year, I'm coming up on $200,000 worth of trading profits. I have broker statements. I've got live logins. Everything that I'm doing is real trades, real trading. I've done interviews where I have submitted 24 months of broker statements. I have achieved the life that every trader dreams of. Not the fancy cars, not the fancy mansions, not the insane lifestyle. I'm living a realistic, incredible life, and it's all thanks to one person. My uncle. I have always given credit where credit is due. I would never in any world, and this has been one thing that people ask me all the time, what got you into trading? Did you ever see yourself getting into trading? The answer is no. I would have never even considered this, would have never even fathomed being a trader if it wasn't for my uncle. Many have speculated if my strategy is real, if my trading is real, if my success, my results are real. Even if my uncle is real.
People probably thought the whole uncle story was fabricated.
Made up. I didn't even have an uncle. Well, today we're gonna find out.
No one knew I existed before I even let the world know.
Many of you guys think I am an industry plant, that the market makers themselves picked me, hand-picked Tori Trades, plopped me into social media, and I am an industry plant. I'm here to sell you guys, scam you guys. Some of you guys even claiming that this is some elaborate story made up to benefit my brand and my image, to give me validity in what I'm doing, or to allow me to climb the ladder of success in social media or on the internet by using this crazy made-up story. It is finally time to reveal the man, the myth, the legend himself, Uncle Mike, in this podcast.
So I started from nothing to all the information you taught me. And I think that's why I've made it.
9 out of 10 don't make it. I'm talking to a brand new person.
Okay.
I said, have you ever read that or heard that? First question I said, well, what makes you think you're going to make it?
Yeah, that's a
Why
great question.
do you think you're going to be the one or two that make it?
This is someone that has impacted more than just my trading, but my life in general. He has helped me see the world differently. He has helped me understand what it is to be an entrepreneur, to always have multiple streams of income, to look at the markets in a very different way. It's my uncle. In this podcast, we're going to discuss how we all got into trading.
I was 37 years old when I started. Now that I've been teaching people for 7 years, so keep this in mind, I'd already been trading 20-something years.
The psychology behind successful traders.
I simply need to know, my brain needs to know those two questions. How do I determine when to get in? And then my mind's on to when do I get out?
And Uncle Mike himself reveals some secret tips to how to consistently be profitable.
Hey.
I know what I'm doing. Listen to me. Let me teach you how to do this.
Here's your 3 secrets.
This is one of the biggest videos I have ever released on social media, point blank, period. I hope you guys enjoy this podcast.
All right, so Lauren and I finally got my uncle on a podcast today. We had to drag him in here, but I think this is against his will. This is going to be a really interesting conversation. It's just kind of getting you guys an idea for who Uncle Mike is. Who is the trading template? Who is Lauren? Who am I? So we're going to get really into it, into the nitty gritty. So I guess we had some questions for you, Uncle Mike. But we can start it, however you'd like. We can talk about your journey.
How I got here trading.
How you got here, yeah.
Like everyone else. By the way, I'm going to show you this right here. If you can see this, okay? The reason you want to trade. Everyone who's watching this, why do you think people would even be interested in watching this?
They want to make money.
Okay. Just, do they want to make money to be rich, or do they just want to be comfortable?
I'd say comfortable.
Safe.
Is for the most part, yeah.
Okay, and people are getting older, right? You two are still very young. Just think, you two added together, I think is less than me, or close, something like that, okay? So today it's $2,900 I've already locked in. Is that good?
That's excellent.
Yeah. And I've got a trade right now. I'll push it in a minute. It's another $1,200.
Nice.
So that's over $4,000. Yesterday was $7,500. Is that good?
Wow, yeah.
The day before was $4,000. The day before was $4,400.
All right.
So that's 4 days. So what is that? Does that mean I'm a genius? No, it's just because I took the time to figure out how to engage trading correctly. Okay? So let me close this trade real quick. When you do that, you need to close out your trades. I'm going to save my $4,000. Old days, it used to say, order filled. You remember
That's my
that?
ringtone now.
Okay. That one's done.
Order filled.
And this is how you want to get to. You want to get so that you're trading on your mobile phone. I'm off somewhere in some office building. I was tied up to get here, and I'm making my trades. Is that awesome or what? Being anywhere on the globe, generate your income. So, and that's regular. So the questions I have is my journey. I was an alarm technician. Everyone would know that. And I was a regular worker person, generating my income. But everyone always hears about trying to make a little extra money. At certain times, your mind goes off into the future when you get older and, whatever. So I came across trading. That's when Lauren was born.
Okay.
So that was 28 years ago.
Okay.
And I started right then. I happened to see a commercial, and it was someone in front of a computer. Now, if you can picture 28 years ago, computers were like, wow, okay?
Yeah.
We didn't even have a computer in our family. So as soon as I seen that, I thought, because being out in the field, working, being a technician, and then when I seen someone made it look like it was easy, I can be in front of a computer and make my money. Instantly, I told my wife, I'm going to go for that. I'm going to learn how to do that. And that's how I started. Right then, I started. And I'd like to tell you it was happiness, but it was miserable.
Oh, my
right?
gosh.
Because everything that we do, so I say now it's learning how to undo you. You are the problem.
Yeah.
It's not trading. It's not anything like that. It's the way we naturally think. And the way we naturally think keeps us safe, does things for us. But in trading, it's 100% wrong, which you two would know that.
Yeah,
okay?
we know.
So anyway, I started on my journey. Back then, it was read a couple books,
Okay.
which is useless. Okay? I bought, that idea, it's a $100 book. I've got some $100 books that I bought in trading. No good.
Wow.
All right? There wasn't, to my advantage, there wasn't the internet. So nowadays, the rate of people not making it trading is amazing.
Probably the highest it's ever been.
It's just unbelievable, because how are we all programmed? You want to learn something, you go on internet, YouTube, Instagram, wherever, and there you go. Before you know it, you've got 100 videos under your belt, okay?
Yeah.
Because it's natural. Remember, it's undo you. You think, I want to learn how to trade. I want to learn how to trade. That's even what my site says, kind of, right? Learn how to trade. That's exactly wrong. All right?
Okay.
It's learn how to think differently. There's the problem. Undo you, so you go in there and change it. So anyway, I counted a huge blessing. I had enough money when I started, not tons, but I had enough money, enough determination. It was a blessing for me to be able to weather that learning curve. Both of you have been there, and you two, I say, have it much easier than other people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you had me.
Exactly.
That was probably why you're in. Matter of fact, if it wasn't that, I would have to bet against you two.
I think so too.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. You had me a controlled environment, a controlled content. I knew exactly what to give you right at the right moment. Totally different.
Yeah.
Okay? Maybe you can see that, maybe you don't. But anyway, so you guys are there because of that. People nowadays go on the internet, they start watching everything. Before you know it, you've heard 20, 30, 50 different varieties,
strategies, concepts.
things like that. And your mind goes into a state of confusion.
Analysis
And
paralysis.
you're just done,
Yeah.
okay? So that's kind of my journey. I got started, I did it. I went through all that for 3 years.
Okay.
Okay, so picture, that's a long time.
It is.
During that 3 years, I quit a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you both know that I don't like cussing, right? I don't cuss. I'm telling you, it was so frustrating. A couple times I went to my car and cussed.
Man.
I'm telling you, that's how
Wow.
painful it is.
Yeah.
When you have you're up $1,000, all of a sudden, in 30 minutes, you're down $5. I'm telling you,
It
that will rack you
stings.
over. So, thank the Lord, I was able to weather through that. Now, I think I've made, I don't know, 20 or 30,000 trades. Is that a lot of trades?
That's a lot of trades.
Real money trades.
Yeah.
You just get to pick up stuff. So my process, I was talking to someone yesterday about someone who was interested in me helping them. And I said, the trades I've made this week, and I told them, 4,000 a day, 7 yesterday, almost 4 and 4 days in a row. That's pretty awesome. But if I were to show you those trades and how I did it, what's cool is I could show you the trade I made 25 years ago.
Same
Exactly
concept. That's
the same.
coolest thing.
Okay?
That's the coolest thing.
That's it. So anyway, that's my journey.
Okay.
That's how I got here.
So 3 years in.
It took me 3 years because keep in mind, I was the kind of personality. Let me a little background. I owned my own business.
Yeah.
That kind of person is more of a self-director type person. Okay. I thought I was successful there. Naturally, I thought I'd be successful here. Major lie. Okay. And then though, when I was starting, I was the teacher, the exam giver, the truth sayer, or whatever you call all that. The 3 parts, I'm doing it myself. That's why I didn't make it. If I would have had a mentor,
Yeah.
someone who, as soon as I was deviating from the course, bring you right back, okay?
Yeah.
It's crucial. That's what you guys had. I didn't have that. So that's why it took me 3 years.
Yeah.
Next thing is I was 37 years old when I started.
Okay.
Now that I've been teaching people for 7 years, so keep this in mind. You're a little unique from me. You're starting a little bit earlier, but I'd already been trading 20-something years. No one knew I existed before I even let the world know.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting, isn't
Yeah.
it? Most people they made a trade and it worked out. Hey,
I know what I'm doing.
I know what I'm
Listen
doing.
to me. Let me.
I would even go for, when I first decided to start teaching, helping people, I never go on the web, which you guys know that, all right?
Yeah.
So I said, well, if I'm going to go help people, and I'm knowing that YouTube's coming around and whatever, the first when I started, I went on to the computer and I searched trading and stuff like that. I did it for a whole week.
Okay.
All week, all day. That's what who's doing this? Who's teaching people? And at the end of that week, I was just like, it was so skanky, like a flea market.
Okay.
And I really kind of got a little down, like I was telling my wife, I'm not sure. I just don't know that I can do it.
Yeah.
And I really had to pull it together. So, okay, I'm not like that. I know the value I can bring. So I got into it, and I'm glad I've done it.
Yeah.
I've helped a lot of people now.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway,
Because there's not many people like you. Is
there's
the thing.
not. I'm just different or whatever. So anyway, I'm not saying people out there aren't good. There's lots of good. You're good. There's lots of good people.
Yeah.
It's just that there's lots of bad.
You got to weed through.
Okay.
You got to have the discernment. You got to be able to tell who's good and who's bad.
And in part of this, you guys like the new social media
Yeah,
stuff.
we
okay?
do. We like it.
I know that's good. I'm kind of still old school, right? I'm uncomfortable being in front of a camera or whatever.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just not my deal. No big deal. But anyway, when I talk to people, one of the first things I tell them, which you kind of say this, I've heard, is I say there's statements of truth that someone can make. It's truthful, but depending on where you're at, the hearer of that would determine if you can abide by that statement of truth. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Like time?
Could you think of something? So, for example, this is it, relationships. Everybody's got relationships. This guy, I'm going to pick on a guy. This guy's got problems. He's a drunk, issues, whatever. And the daughter's going to go date him, and everyone knows he's got a problem. And if you said, hey, okay, you can date Mr. Problem, but it's going to be a rough road,
Yeah.
okay? But she loves him and all of that, and he's going to get better, and everything. And they get married, and then lo and behold, within a year, you know what happens.
Yeah.
It's a divorce, right?
Yeah.
So would you say back then that it was a truthful statement? Someone that's already got all those kind of problems would be more difficult to make a relationship work? I mean, it's not that they
Yeah.
can't get better. People get better all the time. But it's just proven that, okay?
Oh, yeah.
You're starting out with more issues.
You're starting out with more issues.
Yeah.
It's going to be more difficult. That statement is truth.
Yeah.
Did that person, were they able to accept it? See what I'm saying? So, for example, I would tell someone new who wants to get into trading, learning how to trade, and why they get in is because of the money. All
Yeah.
right? So I tell people, picture this, the alphabet, the A through Z. We want to teach someone how to read, write, and do all that stuff. Where do we start?
Yeah, alphabet.
A.
Yeah.
And we work our way down to it.
Wrong answer.
The brokerage account. Everyone always asks.
Oh, yeah.
Right away, what
Oh,
brokerage
yeah.
account should I have? How much money should I have? I say, listen, in the alphabet, the trading question, the brokerage account is letter Z.
Oh, yeah.
If I can get people just to, okay, let me surrender, slow down, and go. This is what you need to hear first, okay? And then this is what you need second. If I can get the people, the ones who do that, everyone says I'll do it. The ones who do it usually do wonderfully. I've got several people trading full-time now. Wow.
That's amazing.
Isn't that crazy? And then I've got also several people that know I got to have a brokerage account. And I'm going for it. I've had people who have bought my course and watched a few videos. Wow, that seems easy. Next week, fired it up, lost a ton, and have called me up crying.
Oh, my
I mean,
gosh.
crying.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, oh boy, what's going on?
Yeah.
Dude, you just bought the course 2 weeks ago. Well, I thought I got it.
No.
You see, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
So this trading is phenomenal. And there's so many things. I could talk fast, and since we're on a short loop, maybe I should talk fast, right? Because I typically talk short. I mean, it's slow. But anyway, what other questions you got for me? Sorry.
I think a lot of people want to know, I mean, when it comes to people just getting into trading, it's a long process. If you can understand that it doesn't have to be long.
It
I
does
guess to be
not.
honest, it doesn't have to be.
It took you a while.
It did.
Why?
I think it was the information you gave me, I didn't pay for.
First mistake.
That I didn't pay for it?
Every family member
Oh, my
and
gosh.
friends that I have over the years, I've said, well, I can do this. I can give it to you for free.
Yeah.
I've done that. And guess what?
They don't take it
I'm
seriously.
telling you, zero.
I think that was my number one reason.
You were going to be a zero
Yeah.
until something happened to you.
Yeah, exactly.
And whatever, and you came alive.
Yeah.
But every person I've given it to for free is just,
They're not trading.
it just doesn't, they just don't even do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love that. Even people who've called me, people I don't know, like vets and stuff like that, military. And hey, I've had a problem with it. Man, hey, I can give you this course for free. This would be wonderful. Thank you very much. Here you go. You're signed up, dude. Go get them. I can go look from in the back end. They've never even opened it up.
Wow.
Once I started putting, so everyone who wants to make money, raise your hand. Everyone's raising their hand, okay? And who would like to generate an extra couple $100 a day? Everybody. All right. And whatever else. And now, who's willing to pay a little money?
Yeah, that's where the hands go down.
Okay, that's just how it works.
Yeah.
So part of the reason I charge, and I keep charging people, is because it weeds out the wannabes.
Yeah. Oh,
It
yeah.
just works. You put money into it, I'm committing. It's like a magic turn-on switch.
Yeah.
That's why if you're not paying for information, almost like this information here, there's people who will be watching this, and guess what? They're watching it for what purpose?
They're thinking they're going to get something out of it that they're missing, like some secret
That's what they
sauce.
think they're getting,
Yeah.
some secret sauce, okay?
Or entertainment.
Or entertainment. That
Okay.
is it.
Good job.
And so I heard someone say it's edutainment now.
Edutainment.
Part of their brain says, I'm
Oh,
getting educated.
wow, that's a good
but
term.
really, I'm being entertained.
Yeah.
Okay? That's why YouTube, Instagram, everything else is so popular. All right? Do I have all my colors? All the colors set on? Okay? That's popular. It's just the way it works. So when I say a statement of truth, I'm cycling back to what I was going to say, a statement of truth. If someone asked me what's the worst thing they can do nowadays, what would you say?
I know the answer.
You know the answer. The answer is go onto YouTube,
Yeah.
But the problem is because when you go to build a house or a structure, what do you got to do first?
Blueprints?
Blueprints. Come up with the design, get the blueprints. We've got the land's cleared, we're ready to start building. What goes in first?
The foundation.
The foundation, correct? You want to skimp on the foundation?
That's probably the most important.
It is. You want to put real thin concrete, bad wood, or whatever. The foundation's built on some bad stuff. You want to skimp on the foundation?
Absolutely not.
Of course not. That's like a dumb question. Well, when you say, this is the way the brain works, oh, I want to learn how to trade. I want to get into trading to generate income a different way. I want to own my own source of income, okay? Well, what do? Default, we go to online, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, you've just told the brain, hey, I'm going into learning mode. And what does the brain know to do? Lay the foundation first.
Okay.
It's like imprinting animals, okay? They're born, first thing, that's mama.
Yeah.
Okay? You go online, learn to trade, first thing you start hearing, seeing, your mind is stashing it automatically into the foundation.
Yeah.
You don't even know it.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I go and I finally think I've filled that up. You don't know that you have, and you filled it up incorrectly. And then all of a sudden I flip, you do this, right, on your phone. You go to the next little thing, and here's your 3 secrets you need or whatever, or this or the 10 whatever. You're stashing in the next thing. You're building this file system in your mind automatically.
Yeah.
And then finally you think, well, I can talk a few bits of lingo to my whomever, and now I'm going to go trade, and it's miserable. Do you know what the stats are of people making it trading?
I think it used to be, 80? Now it's like 90, 95%.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
That's such a bummer.
So why is that? Why? First of all, I'm not sure that's really true. That's what it's heard.
Yeah.
Someone published it and said that.
Yeah.
It's not that case with my students. I don't know about yours, but it's not. But anyway, overall, I would say that. But so you see what happens. They come to it because they want to diversify their income, which is smart.
Yeah.
How they go about it. So back to that statement of truth. First thing I say is, do not go watch videos.
Yeah. Don't
Random
flood.
videos.
Yeah.
You're done. Matter of fact, when I talk to people, and I talked to someone yesterday, I said, listen, and however they found me, now this is where it kind of gets weird. Nowadays, they're not finding me unless they go to a video.
Okay.
So there is a problem in what I'm saying, okay?
There's gotta be some
when
connection.
I had my alarm business years ago, you guys, maybe you know this, there used to be a Yellow Page.
Yeah.
You remember that big old book? And I'd have an ad in there because I could figure out electronics. Well, now the Yellow Page is the internet.
Yeah, that's
The
true.
problem is there's a gazillion things.
Yeah.
You don't know which one to look at. So this guy found me via the internet somehow. And I said, have you watched, how long you been doing it? 3, 4, 5 years or whatever. Have you watched lots of videos? Oh, yeah, tons, hundreds.
Oh, boy.
I said, so the little bit I could help him. He bought my course today, by the way.
Okay.
Nice.
Anyway, I said, listen, I'm going to give you a statement of truth. Do not, if you want to make it, whether I help you or not, the worst thing you can do is go watch another random video.
Yes.
And I said, but I tell you what, it's so addictive. It's so pulling.
Yeah.
I'll bet against you. I have to. I have
Okay.
to bet that you will go watch more videos. Now, in this case, he bought my program, so
Okay.
I'll be working with him. But overall, what would you think of that statement? Is that too harsh, too crazy? Don't go
No.
watch YouTube videos?
I think it's fair. That was the first thing that you told me and Peyton was everything that I'm about to teach you is all you need to know. That was the most truth that I've ever heard. And thank gosh that I didn't go watch any videos. I never
lucky.
got it. I know, very lucky, because that's
yeah,
not the case for
yeah.
many people now.
Okay.
But I think that's maybe because I wasn't, I was given the information for free. I wasn't quite obsessed enough with it to just try to fill my head. People want to just fill
Yes.
their head. When they get
Yeah.
obsessed with it, they want every angle, every answer. So I think luckily I took everything you said, everything, and that was all I knew. So I started from nothing to all the information you taught me. And I think that's why I've made it, or am making it, or am consistent.
Yes, I think so. What about
It's
you?
tough. No, I was just going to say it's tough too because I think that when people, like you said, they get obsessed with it, it's like they want to see the success. They want to like have hope. So that's also why they go on social media because they're like, oh, this guy's doing it. Like I have hope that I can one day do it kind of thing, you know?
And that would be, in that context, yeah, are there other people that do it? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That does give you hope, okay? So here's another statistic. So back to the statistics. 9 out of 10 don't make it. I'm talking to a brand new person.
Okay.
I said, have you ever read that or heard that? And they say, yeah, 8 out of 10 or whatever. First question I ask is, well, what makes you think you're going to make it then?
Yeah, that's a
Why
great
do you
question.
think you're going to be the 1 or 2 that make it and not the 8 that don't?
I'd say probably because I'm talking to the right person.
Oh,
I'm
well,
talking to
that'd
someone
be
that's the one.
if they thought that.
Yeah.
But I usually ask that. So why do you think, you know why you're making it now? Because you were able to get the information. And you've now modified it some, obviously. Okay. You're still working on it, right? Okay. So that's just something I ask them. All right. What else? What other questions you got? Keep in mind, I was brought here under duress.
Okay, everybody wants to know kind of what's the trading like nowadays. So you can trade from your phone. You know, what are you trading? What time frame?
Okay.
Some of the nitty gritty stuff.
Good. Just those things. Those unimportant
They
things.
really are. I know they are.
They are unimportant. All right. So here's what I tell people. That's why I probably don't do these things. Matter of fact, if you go to my YouTube channel and you watch, and you used to be my editor for years, okay? Matter of fact, I think that's also why you made it.
Oh my gosh, I
Because
watched hours.
You
and hours.
watched hours and hours and had to clean it up and rewind it to clean it up and then do it again.
Oh, yeah.
You have heard what I've said more than anybody.
More than anyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why repetition is your friend. It's not important, all right? It's not the deal. It's not the strategy. It's not this indicator. It's none of that out here. Now, of course, you have to engage with that. I had a guy yesterday, I said, well, are you talking price action? Or is it this or is that? And
Fundamentals,
I'm using a
technical analysis.
Fibonacci.
I know.
Whatever.
Trust me, I know.
And I said, okay. I said, well, they all can be something, all right? But the thing is, it's in here. Remember, picture this, all right? I'm taking data in. I'm looking at the screen, TV, or my computer. I'm looking at the data, what's happening, okay, or I'm watching screen. I'm now listening to somebody, friend, or what I'm hearing, or whatever, in a Discord room or whatever I'm hearing. I'm taking 2 points of data in, correct? It comes in, it goes to this file system that's in your brain, and then it clicks. And it sends a little protein electrical current down, buy.
Okay. Okay.
Data comes in, click, sell. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what happens. Interesting. It came in, it goes in, what I'm thinking I'm hearing, seeing, hearing, goes up against my already established file system, my total life's file system, and a segment of that is what I've learned about trading. And it fires out the output, buy or sell. That's it. Where's the problem? The problem is in the file system in here, okay? It's what you're taking I could have 5 people right here looking at the same information.
Oh yeah. They're gonna come up with different
They
answers.
all see it's a red bar, unless you're colorblind. It's a red bar, right? Yes. And how do they come up with a different push?
Yeah.
Your file system.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got to rewrite your file system. And so when you do that, like building a house, it's crucial. That's why what I was going to say earlier, people that go to my website, my YouTube, and I guess my website, you're nicer to people. I'm not as nice, okay? I don't say how I do it at all.
Yeah.
You kind of say how you do it, and that's fine. I am so particular. We're going to do this. This is what you have to know first.
Yeah.
And until we get this laid out, the foundation, I'll say you'll never make it.
Yeah.
You might make it for a day. That's what I'm not interested in. I'm interested in you helping it. Think of this. I started when I was 37. I'm 65 now. Is that crazy? Like,
Yeah.
zoop. Almost. I'm almost done. Okay? Thank the Lord. I get to get out of here. Okay? But for all these years, I've not had anybody tell me what I've got to do. I wake up, I go. Last month, you guys know, I was in South America and right on my phone. So one of your questions will be, what are you trading now? I used to trade stocks. Back when I started, it used to be 20 and 1/8, 20
Really?
and 1/16, 20 and 5/32. Was that weird?
Confusing.
Very.
I had to get out my tape measure because I was a carpenter, knew that,
That's
and
so
I
cool.
had to calculate what that was. 20 and 1/4. It was all represented in that fraction stuff.
Okay.
And then sometime, I don't remember, but they came out with decibels. Now it's 20.10 or 20.25. So much easier.
Yeah.
Okay. Back then, there was no online stuff. I used to call
Okay.
all day. One day, this would be an interesting story, show you how powerful the mind is. Whether it's a lie or the truth, if you believe it, it's truth to you.
Yeah.
I had a trade one time. Aunt Lynn and I were going out of town. We're driving, and there was nothing online.
Yeah.
I'd call, okay? And I'd call, and the guy, I knew him, hey, so-and-so. Maybe it was Cisco, and he'd pop out the price. Okay, thanks a lot. Hang up.
Okay.
10 minutes later, hey, it was nuts.
Oh, my
Call.
gosh.
It was just so crazy because you couldn't get the information. Anyway, I'm losing money that day. We're driving from here to North Carolina. Time I get there, I'm down $12,000. That's a miserable day. I wasn't telling my wife. So
You're
I
like,
said, all right,
thanks,
I want to close that trade. I just couldn't take it. It was overwhelming. He goes, well, what trade you talking about? I said, well, I need to close my 1,000 shares of Cisco. He goes, well, let me check here. You don't have a trade. I said, what?
What?
Well, what happened? What do you mean? Well, let me look here. Well, you had a trade yesterday, Cisco, but you had a close at market. And that means when the market 4 o'clock, automatically
Yeah,
closes.
done.
I forgot. I had done that.
Wow.
All day long, I'm losing 2,000,
Feeling
4,000,
sad.
8,000, 10,
Wow.
12,000. I said, all right, cut that thing out. You don't even have it.
That's
I'm
the
telling you,
craziest
it was
thing.
an amazing experience.
Wow.
Because I believed it all
Wow.
day long. So whether it's truth or a lie, if you believe it,
It's
it's
true to
done.
you.
There you go.
Wait, I have a question. How did you see the price? I mean,
You
you would
didn't.
call and ask.
You didn't back then. If you weren't in front of your computer, because you had to be
Yeah.
in your computer, they didn't have Wi-Fi and stuff. Okay, we didn't have these kind of phones.
Yeah.
It was flip phone.
Yeah.
So there was no screen. So you just kind of knew. I got in at 20 and
Yeah.
at 1/8. It's now here or here, and you'd be calculating in your
So
brain.
did you develop the trading template after you could see the charts?
I developed, and keep in mind, this will help people, template.
Yeah.
I was a carpenter before I became in electronics. I used to hang doors. Someone would come, a carpenter would hang doors, and you'd have to measure out and cut where the hinges go. Well, when you got a bunch of doors to do, instead of measuring, and I did that, of course, but then I said, I'm going to get a piece of plywood. I'm going to cut what I called a jig. And so now I could take a door, it's called a slab, put it on its edge, put this piece of wood on there, tack it, and then scribe it, and now I could use my router tool. Doot, doot, doot. Give me the next door. Put it on there. Doot, doot, doot. Done like that. I took the time to build this jig, this template. So when I say my template, it's really my process, my understanding, my routine, okay, my knowledge of how I'm putting the pieces together. Once I realize this works to give me the positive results, boom, that's what I'm doing. That's why today I do exactly what I did 25 years ago. And how I got there was I've made thousands of real live trades, some winners, some losers, and I was able to start paring it down, parsing it back. Why do I have these losers? What do they look like? What are the characteristics? These winners, what happens? What are the characteristics? And I started mapping that, and when I came up like, oh, whoa, is that it? I went, made trades on that understanding, started going green. Dude, I locked it.
Wow.
Okay, same thing. And you would know because you teach it and tell people about it, and they say, that don't work. You know, that's too simple.
Too easy.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
too easy. Okay, and so the process. Are there other processes or other things people could use to trade? I'm going to say sure.
Yeah.
Okay, doesn't matter.
Right.
It's this. It's what I see, what I hear into my file system, my training brain, and then all of a sudden it fires it out.
Yeah.
Is that cool? And so now I don't have to think about it. And you're probably getting like that. I mean, you're not there yet, but you're getting
getting there.
Okay? You're getting there, all right? By the way, does the world know that you just had a $40,000 trade the other
I
day?
did. I announced it to the world.
The day
big-
she did it, she told everybody.
I told her.
That's your biggest trade?
Yeah.
Is that awesome?
That was the coolest.
Just think there was a point where you thought, does this really work?
Right.
Can I make $50? Can I make $100? And you just knocked out a $40,000 trade.
Way cool.
That's cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you're going to get there.
One day.
Absolutely. I don't doubt
You
it.
guys are going to be better than me because this is my benefit. I got to help you get started
Yeah.
and supporting you and getting you there. Because you just don't want to, who likes talking about income? I can't stand it. I don't like thinking about it, but we're humans, and finances are part of our lives, okay? And as you get older, all right, and everyone who's watching this, when you hit the age 45, it's illegal to discriminate, but I'm telling you, you're 45, you're 50, the workplace world
Oh,
is silently pushing you out.
yeah.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Okay? We just can't say it, but everyone knows it. Dude, since I've started learning how to trade, my income has gone up every year. Is
That's
that
the
crazy?
coolest. Yeah.
Now, that's not even the crazy part. Being in front of my computer was awesome. Trading's awesome, which you know this now and you know it. I tell people the coolest thing about trading is doing it from my phone.
I know.
If they say, what brokerage do you use? And I use TradeStation, okay? And I could care less, really. The reason I use TradeStation is that's who was around back then. I've been there 26 years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
All right?
Oh, yeah.
One reason, I feel very safe. Now, are they really safe with my money? I don't know that. Remember I said earlier? But I think it's safe.
It's truth to you.
That's correct. I would never go to an offshore account. None of that
Yeah.
stuff. Never. So I feel safe with my money. Okay. Been there 26 years, never had an inkling of a problem.
Yeah.
Their platform, they try to do cool stuff, which I wish they would never do that. Okay. And I kick them and fight them about that. But anyway, it works. But once it came to doing it on the phone,
Game changer.
that was wow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, I could be like you do. I'm walking around. Everybody looks at their phone, their thumb. You'd think I'm texting somebody or responding.
Oh, no, you're
I'm
looking at.
making a trade.
Oh, yeah.
When you get to that stage, man,
It's so cool.
it's fabulous. So I could care less about the brokerage account, whatever. But if they took the mobile app, that'd be a drag.
Yes,
If I had to go back
agreed.
and sit in front of my computer, no good.
Yeah.
All right, what else? What's another question? Oh, so here's the age. If you're younger than 35, they need to talk to you two guys about getting trained. Because, listen, 10-year-olds think like 10-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
They're
yeah.
interested in the same stuff. 18-year-olds are kind of interested in that.
Yeah.
40-year-olds are a little different, okay? I think people shouldn't come to trade unless there's an exception.
Okay.
You two guys, I've forced to be an exception.
Yeah.
but typically until you're 35, and really, if I said the age, it's Moses' age. You know who Moses is?
I've heard him.
Moses came out when he was 40, I think, or something like that. At 40 years old, think of this. When I first started training, we were getting this thing going. I was going to start teaching people, and you were one of those. A punk. 20,
I was a
18,
little punk.
20,
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
I said, man, if I could get people right out of high school and show them this, it'd be fabulous. Right away, I found out, oh, what a wrong thinking. They've had 18 years of being indoctrinated about you got to get a job.
Yeah.
Be responsible. Great lie number one. Great lie number two is, hey, if you want to really act like you're smart, go to higher education because these 12 years did nothing for you, okay? And go 2, 4, 6, and it's really 10 years now, and pay for it. Go into debt, but maybe you'll get to cut in line
Yeah.
and get a job. And that's what I was up against. So I realized, oh, I made a mistake. So now people buy into that. They do it. But when they get to be 40, now they kind of are more comfortable in themselves and,
Yeah.
you know, what all that mature. And they get to look back. And for some reason, you kind of look differently going forward. Hey, what's the next 20? And I get to look back at the last 20. What I've been buying into, the job thing in this case, done for me? Nothing, right? Been laid off a time or two, or I know people have been laid off. I have no retirement. I have no whatever. They wake up and say, what else can I do?
Yeah.
Trading is that. I mean, I can prove it, hands down.
Oh, yeah.
What if I said, okay, you can go into trading, but guess what? You got to quit whatever else you're doing and go 100%.
That
Would
would
that
be hard.
crazy?
That'd weed
No
a lot
one
of
could
people
do
out.
it. I couldn't have done it, okay? Or you want to go into another business. Big bucks, big risk, the whole 9 yards. Trading, you do it in your bedroom in your panties, okay? It's just crazy. No risk at all. Rewrite your thinking, practice it, prove it to yourself. Hey,
Yeah.
I kind of got this. Okay, let me get it, come up with a couple $1,000,
Yeah.
and let me try it. Wow. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Isn't
yeah.
it?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, what other questions?
I mean, we could go back. We could go back to what do you trade?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone wants to know.
Okay, so I traded stocks forever. And I got it down to probably 6 or 7 stocks, the same ones
Okay.
I traded for 10 or 15 years. And everyone asked, well, what are those?
Exactly.
Why?
But it didn't matter.
It doesn't matter. The point was, I found a place to go fishing, and the fish bit.
Yes.
They bit.
Yeah.
Is that it? Fish bit?
Yeah.
They were biting.
They're
They were
biting.
biting.
Okay. And I went back the next time. That's where I'm going fishing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So my ones I worked on worked out great. When I started teaching people, and then they started doing it, they realized, oh, there's a thing called PDT rule, pattern day trader. In the stock world, you have to have $25,000, basically. Many people don't have that.
Right.
So I instantly realized, okay, guess what? Let me show you this. I've always known this, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to go open up in a totally different financial area called futures. It could have been options. Nowadays there's cryptocurrency, bond market, all kinds of different things to trade. I went and opened up a futures account. It was done in a day or two, and I started trading the same way. Same thing I know how to trade. And all of a sudden, I think I put 10,000 in my account. I could have put 1,000.
Yeah.
But I had it, so I put 10 in there. Started trading, winning trades, and so now I eliminated that problem.
Yeah.
If you're going to get into trading, futures is where you want to go. Okay? Number one benefit, you can start with a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Okay? And then other benefits, which I didn't really think about too much, but it trades, which 20 hours of the day. If you're a worker bee all day long, you can't trade. Good. Futures are trading at night.
Yep.
A little bit of money, easy, whatever. Again, where is that trading come in on the alphabet?
It's A.
Z.
Oh, it's not A. I know nothing.
Z.
No,
right?
The brokerage is Z.
Yeah.
Brokerage is Z.
When I have people come to me who's already been trading and they have a brokerage account, I say, if you could do it, cancel it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Listen, you're a 16-year-old. I bring the car, it's in the driveway, and here's the keys. But now you don't know how to drive yet. Let me teach you how to drive. Do you think they're really going to be focused on how to
no
learn?
way.
Or let me get in that,
They are just eyeballing the car the whole time.
okay? You can't help it.
Yeah.
I say, take that out. You're not learning how to trade for today, to make a couple bucks today. You want to become totally financially independent, okay? And you can. It really does work. But you've got to go through a undo you,
Yeah.
rewrite the
yeah.
thinking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
People who would do it will be, they're happy. So I trade futures now.
Yeah.
And then I narrowed it down real quick. I've got 2 of them that I trade.
Okay.
I don't even trade what you trade.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, yeah.
And some people say, well, is that it? I say, listen, I know them like you talk about, that you get to know your instrument. It's like dating. Find out what's your quirks, what's your problems. Where you're going to have where you're going to go off. Okay? I have these 2. I can tell you what they're doing. I can literally pop open my phone, and within seconds, my brain is firing off the signal. Is that neat?
Yeah.
I trade the same 2 things for the last 7 years. Occasionally, I'll do a little something else. Just why? I don't know why. But that's what I do. 99%, same 2.
Yeah.
Over and over and over.
Okay.
How boring.
I love it.
But you know what? I'm not
It
into I don't
works.
care. I don't want to have to think about it.
Yeah.
You guys have iPhones. This is cool. What do you spend your time on? There's a thing on here called screen time.
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
ever seen it? I came across it 6 months ago. I said, what's this? I don't even know what this thing does. All I do is talk, text, and trade.
Yep.
Other than that,
TTT.
that's it, okay? Little email. Screen time, anyway, I can go show it to somebody. 100% of my trades are on my phone for 7 years. My screen time averages 10 hours a week.
Wow. That's impressive.
Nowhere else. You look at my YouTube, 0. Okay, unless I go look for something very quick, I need something. Anything else? I don't have Instagram. If I have them, it's because you guys set them up for me. Let everybody know that.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't participate, but I trade. So if someone's watching YouTube, what does that mean? It means that you go watch a bunch of other people on how to trade?
No, not at all.
Correct. That's your first clue. If you're hunting, looking, that means you don't know what you're doing. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you're one of those persons listening to this, hopefully to glean something, typically we tend to say, if I said, do you want to be mentored, someone to walk you through the steps of how to do it? We're going to go through a treacherous mountain. It's 10,000 feet. It's scary. You want to go on your own?
Absolutely not.
You want to get a guidebook and try to go on your own? Or do you want the guy who's been up and down the mountain?
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Well, here's the drawback to that.
Gotta
Yep.
pay.
Isn't that crazy? Most people, by default, I think I'll try this. Waste time, break their legs, broken net, fell off the cliff, right?
Disaster.
It's disaster. But you know what? I'll go flap some money down on some new whatever.
Oh, yeah. New phones, yeah.
When I have people
Shoes,
say,
clothes.
one guy says, "Oh, listen, I'd love to do this. I want to do it, and but $2,000. I charge $2,000. I don't know what you charge, but $2,000. That's kind of steep. I'm not sure." I said, "Okay. Actually, I have a $1,000 plan too. It was the $1,000 when I was talking to him." I said, "Okay, yeah, it makes sense. So $1,000 is a lot of money. It's not. It shouldn't be, right?
Not. It
If
shouldn't
I
be.
gave you $1,000 and you, right now, at your ages, would that be revolutionary to you? Would it
No.
change things big time?
No.
It really wouldn't.
It could disappear in a day.
It's just that's not. So Picture when I talk to someone who's 40 years old, they've been working, let's say 20 years.
Okay.
They make their income. $1,000, we already agreed, is not a big deal. You've been working. Have you been able to save this nothingness that we just talked about, $1,000? It's nothing, right? Have you been able to save that for 20 years? You should have $20,000 saved in your savings account. You know how many
Truly.
people have that?
Not a
It's
lot.
sad.
It is
Isn't
sad.
it crazy? What happens? The money went through their hands. They earned it. They earned 50 to 100, 150, but they have nothing left. It's because they're thinking, okay? So anyway, it's not a lot, but traveling up that, they'd rather try to do it on their own. That's why people are watching this here to maybe pick up something. And I say, so be it. I did that route.
Yeah.
That was my personality. I'm, whatever. Okay? I'm a business owner. I can make decisions. I had a successful business, so I was thinking okay with that.
Okay.
All right? But so I thought I would do it here. And I was one of those people. I was not used to paying people for things.
Okay.
So I would have been that. So I tried it on my own. And that's why I say thank the Lord, really, that I made it. Because I tried it and it was frustrating. If I could have been wise. So I tell people this. You want to get into trading? First of all, you need to get into trading.
Okay.
If your source of income is working a job,
You're disposable.
it's why.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's just no good. You're better than that. The only reason you even have your job is because you're able to do something. That's your evidence right there. I could do this on my own. I can think a little bit better, okay? So anyway, I go to do that, get into that trading, and now if you try to, when you come on YouTube or wherever, I say here's your first thing to decide. Do I want to try to do this on my own? Self-administer the information, process it, come up with it, practice it, think I'm doing it right, or do I want to get a mentor? That's the only first question you need to make.
Yeah.
You're either getting a mentor, so go watch some YouTube videos if you want to. Your goal is not to learn how to trade.
To find a
Don't tell me
mentor.
about a strategy. I don't want to know about your strategy, your 10 points, your 3 this, and all this is all you need to know.
Okay.
I don't want to know that. I simply want to know, am I going this on my own or am I getting a mentor?
Okay.
That's first thing.
Yeah.
The wise people, the ones who understand things a little better, will go with a mentor.
Yeah.
They got to spend a little bit of money, okay? But they also would know, do I want to spend $2,000, get trained on how to do it, or do I want to lie to myself and not think I'm going to spend more than that, because I am. I'm going to spend way more in time and everything
Trial
else,
and error. Yeah.
and just blow it. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Let me get there now.
Yeah.
So,
What did sorry, wait, real quick.
Yeah.
Go back to what you had a guy that didn't have the $1,000
okay,
or said
so,
he didn't.
okay, but that's a lot of money to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sad when I hear that. And he was around 40. I said, I understand. I got a question for you. You got a smartphone? He goes, yeah. What kind? It was an iPhone. I said, how many of those you had? He said, oh, I've had 4 or 5 of them. Because he was 40. You know how they go out. I said, what if you lost your iPhone today? What would you do? And first I asked, how much is it? He goes, oh, I think they're $1,100 currently. If you lost your iPhone or it broke today, what would you do? What do you think he said?
He's gonna
Go
buy a
get
new
one.
one. So his priorities are not on trading. It's on.
Thinking about
thing.
buying this training, getting me just to be financially independent. That's a lot, that $1,000. I lost my phone? Oh,
Crazy.
that's
Yeah.
why people are messed up, okay? So my thinking, my desire is, there's a scripture that says, let each of you use whatever gift you have received to serve one another. This has been a gift. I get to serve you guys.
Oh my
I get
gosh,
to
yeah.
serve other people. You're getting to become servants to serve other people. So if I can help them in this particular area, They want to talk biblical stuff. I'm into that. That's what I'd really like to talk about. But this is a financial thing at this moment. That's a thread in our life, right? So we're talking about finances. What's the most efficient way to be in control, the best you can, to be independent, all the benefits, and have ample income? I'm driving my wife's car the other day. It's a 2016. You know, it's a nice car. Thing didn't start. I go get it checked out, whatever. I take it to the dealership. Starter's bad. $2,000 for a starter. Amen. Go ahead and do it. Okay, I go pick it up, done. A few days later, I'm driving my truck. I need to take it in to do something. Engine oil light came on. I get there. Hey, by the way, $2,000. Go ahead and do it. That would be $4,000 smacked against me just like that. Most people are popping that onto a credit card, and what a drag. I'm telling you, it's wonderful. And you're there now. You're getting there. That is no, dude, done. I've made $4,000 a day for the last several days, right?
Yeah.
That's the way you want to be. So I was willing to go through it. Why, whoever, I don't know why. I got prompted, led to go into this route, and I prompted you to go into it, and now you're trying, and I'm trying to help other people get into trading. It takes work. You got to undo you.
Oh, yeah.
Let us reformat the way you think. I've got 2 questions as a trader. What are they? What do I want to know as a trader? I'm going to go trade today. You're traders. What do you want to know as a trader?
When to buy, when to sell.
That's it. There is nothing else I need to know. I don't need to know anything else. When I go to check out, say, hey, like today, I'll take my $4,000. They simply ask, Mike, did you know that the presidential election's coming on? Did you know what the geopolitical scene's going on? Did you know this happened, a war over here? Did you know that?
Unemployment rates and this.
They simply say, where did you get in?
Yeah.
Where did you get out? Let's make sure. Here you go. Here's your money. I simply need to know, my brain needs to know those 2 questions. How do I determine when to get in? And then my mind's on to when do I get out?
Yeah.
Master that. My trade today looked like it looked 25 years.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
It really is.
So, and you know that. So, all right, what else? What's another question?
What you got? Okay, well, since you haven't said what instruments you trade
which
specifically.
One? Futures.
Okay, futures.
Correct. I trade the one called YM.
Okay.
Which is weird.
Yeah, I don't know where they got the Y from.
I don't know.
It's the Dow.
Your mama. I don't know. And NQ.
NASDAQ. That one I get.
No quality. I don't know what it is. NQ and YM.
Okay.
You could trade the ES, the RTU, where they come up with that one.
Platinum.
Those are not necessarily indexes,
right?
But a unit. Okay, but indexes. So now in going, what's the first thing people are coming to YouTube? I say if they're going to go to YouTube, what's their goal?
They should find a mentor, not a strategy.
They should be thinking. Their first thing to decide: am I wanting to do this on my own, or do I want a mentor to get me there? If you're going to go on your own, then of course you'll go watch a gazillion things to try to piece it all together. Remember the odds. 9 out of 10 do that. They don't make it. Okay, so if they go for a mentor, then now the mentor's job is to, hey, show me, because I don't know. Show me how I sit. Remember how I used to teach you how to sit?
Change from the long chair to the short chair?
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
I remember that.
So down to that, how I sit, how I'm thinking, what I'm doing, what's going in my brain first. So now I'm building this like a muscle memory thing, okay, automatic thinking. When I come in, I go into trade, I'm looking the data through my eyes. What I hear, I typically, by the way, shut my ears off, okay? I don't want to hear anything. It's what I see, and now it goes into this file system I've got, and it's just automatic. Wow, that's just cool.
It really is. It really is.
It
And
is.
people don't believe you can do it from your phone now. They think it's too
Matter of
complicated to
fact,
have done.
I say it's actually the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
With some caveats. Trading on your phone has a whole new dimension. You're out. You're mobile. You're in your car. You're doing stuff. Okay? Think about it. And even when my thing says 10 hours a week, if I logged into my brokerage account right now and I put my phone down, or it happens to be on my leg or whatever, it's still registering.
Yeah.
So I'm really not even 10 hours a week. Okay? If it knew that, maybe it's half that.
Okay.
My goal is 5, by
Okay.
the way. So I'm there at 10 easily. But so the problem I tell people, when you're learning, no phone.
Okay.
When you're learning, it's shut the world off.
Yeah.
Kids, leave me alone a minute. Wife, I got to shut the phone off. Focus.
Yeah.
Okay? We're trying to rewrite your thinking patterns. You've got to focus. Do you think people focus nowadays?
Absolutely not.
They can't help it.
No.
You know I'm not an Instagrammer, or anything like that. Well, when I first got my Instagram and I went on to it, okay, I said, well, I got an Instagram account that you guys made me. And I said, oh, look here, whatever. I'm not kidding. I don't know how, but there were the best, beautifulest, nakedest women in the world.
I see.
And I'm thinking, I'm brand new. This is bad news. I shut that off. I went back another time. So I see what happens. For some reason, that must be like a default thing. I think they know my age. I'm a man, whatever. That's normal, right? If you're of the world, it's normal. So they're just pumping that stuff in there. I can't handle that at all. That's bad news. So I don't do any of that. Phone now, though, in my trading, I've narrowed it down to a couple thoughts. When you're learning, though, be in front of the screen, be focused, have a little notepad, be able to replay that thing, because you can't help it. When even you or me, when I'm teaching somebody something, you can't help it. Even during this, if we could see in your brain, there's certain times I said something and you went off to say, oh, I got a question about that.
Yeah.
Or I wanted to, well, you missed the next 5 words I said. Those were the 5 that you needed. You want to rewind it. So when you're learning, be in front of the computer. No distractions if you can. Try to learn to focus. I had one of my students recently, within 2 months. He was in y'all's age group, and he bought the course, and we got on the phone and talked. He goes, Mike, your lessons are too long. He said, dude, I'm telling you, if it's longer than 3 minutes, I just can't do it.
Oh, my gosh.
I said, say that again? 3 minutes? He goes, I'm not kidding. I'm either off onto a text, I'm off to doing something else, I've got my whatever. It's just real quick. Your lessons are 30 minutes. They're too long. I said, I don't know what to tell you, dude.
I don't know.
I feel for you.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I'll tell you what. How about you stop at 3 minutes and quit and come back? And
Do that
you
100
can do
times.
another 3. Is that crazy?
Yeah.
But I know that's how it is. And you two are falling into it. So I'm telling you on public broadcast, be careful. The world is wanting you not to think, not how to have critical thinking, and not be able to carry on,
Yeah.
okay, for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I bet half the people, I'll send you money if you want to prove it. How many people have dropped off already?
Oh, I mean, that's a great
I
question.
mean, you probably know the stats.
Yeah,
How many
yeah.
people, they're already,
Yeah. They've already tried to scrub to the end. Where's the sauce?
they've
Where's
talked
the
too
secret?
much,
Yeah.
okay? Bad news. If you want to be financially independent, and your alternative is what? Keep your job, go through all of that. It is risky. You're getting older. Go look at anybody else's statistics. People who retire are poor. They have no money, no savings, nothing, okay? Or do your job if you really love it, but learn how to fold this right in,
Yeah.
and it can be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Your income can go up. And then this is my primary income. Of all the things I have for income, this is it. Is that crazy?
Yeah.
There's nothing else I do that I've popped in 20 grand
Oh, yeah.
this week on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
It's like, wow. So I trade the YM, make sure I answer that question, the NQ. If they go away
Time's a
tomorrow,
charm.
I could care less. If my trade station goes away tomorrow, who cares? I would cry if they took the mobile app away.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so when you're learning, don't do it on a phone. Be in front of a computer, pay attention, take this thing seriously. If I can get them to go serious, quick, focus, give up some of your Netflix binging, okay?
Yeah.
Let's go learn something here. You can get there pretty quick.
Yeah.
It don't take years,
Yeah.
all right?
Okay. I know that's a tricky one because I know if it took me years, but that's because we talked about I didn't take it that seriously.
You weren't even
first.
ready.
Yeah. Yeah. I
were
had
a
to find my
baby.
own way back to it.
And the reason I had you and your sister come into my videos, Lauren wasn't old enough at the time, okay? But the reason I had you guys do it because you knew nothing.
Yeah.
I could get true, honest responses.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I was looking for.
Okay.
People love it. They love it. Matter of fact, I had someone the other day who've seen you because you're so popular out there. And but they were in my course and said, Tori was so young.
I know. I was a little older than they think, probably. I think I was maybe 22, 23.
So something like that, yeah.
But yeah, I
Right.
think it can be, I think with the right amount of focus and discipline and like if you can really just strip away the distractions, I think you can make it a lot quicker.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
simple strategy.
Very.
But it's, for some people, it takes longer to strip that distraction away. I think that was my case too.
So if they're willing to do that, to undo you, rewrite to how you think. I'm not kidding. I have a total different thinking process. When I go into trading, for example, if I said, well, you guys might not know this, the video guy over here, he might know this, okay? What's a good rate of return?
That's a great
I
question. I
don't
don't
know.
know.
If you
I
guys,
have no
if you want to
idea.
respond to that, Fonzo, what's a good interest rate of return in the world on your money? If you're at your bank and you
I'd
say,
say it's
hey,
probably not as much as I think.
it's 4 or 5%.
Really?
Okay, that's like whoa.
Okay.
Okay. Overall, the stock market, if you invest in that, maybe they say 10. I don't know where they come up with that, but they sell people on 5%.
Okay.
That's what everyone thinks, okay?
Okay.
You go to any banking, any institution, all that stuff, it's 4 or 5%. That's
Okay.
just what it is. They keep you poor. The whole thinking is poor, okay? That kind of, I had to rewrite all of that.
Oh, yeah.
I generate 100% with your trade the other day, 100% gain in a month.
Oh, yeah.
It's a totally different way of thinking.
It's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I'll tell you this. When you go to post, which you might have done it already, I posted one of my trades, which was a good trade. I've had many, but I posted one. They don't believe you.
Oh, I know.
They get, I can't get there. So I realize I'm helping people more when I say, how would you like to make $250 to $500? It's within their scope of belief.
Yeah.
If I would have told you you're going to make $40,000 one day, you would have like,
Tricky. Yeah.
in this video, get one of those things.
Thought bubble.
Yeah. Okay. You can't believe it. It's not there.
Yeah.
Now you can do it. You're looking forward to it the
Yeah.
next time. You
Oh,
already
yeah.
know how to do it. And now you're thinking bigger, and
Yeah.
why not? It's so awesome. Why? What's changed? Did the two buttons change?
No.
Did the instruments change? Did the clocks change? Did the weather change? Did anything else change?
Yourself.
Nothing.
It was only yourself.
Right
You're
there.
thinking.
Isn't that interesting? Change here. Change here changes everything. So we can help people.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Time frame.
How much time
no,
frame?
what time frame do you?
Oh, do I
tend to
trade in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another non.
I know they're
That's
not.
correct, but they're standard questions or normal
Yeah.
questions, okay? But it's the only reason there's time frames, the only reason there's a chart is for us to kind of break it up a little bit to think we got something, okay? Have we been talking for 5-minute sections here? Yes. Have we been talking for a 10-minute section? Yes. Have we been
Right.
talking for 30 minutes? It's all the same.
Yeah.
It's just how we want to slice it at the moment,
Yeah.
right? So time frame is nothing.
Yeah.
What's a better question? That's a normal question. There's a whole list of the wrong questions.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, I was asking the same wrong questions.
Okay,
Because
okay.
I came from the same grouping of thinkers that were programmed by the world on how to think.
Yeah.
What's my win-loss ratio?
Oh gosh.
Okay?
What's your win percentage?
What's your win
What's
percentage?
your R multiple?
What, all that stuff.
Trust me, I know.
Those are the same normal questions because now we're on the other side. It's like, okay, but not taking that like you're dumb because I asked those questions.
Yeah.
That's all I knew to ask.
Right, right.
I would go to the bank and all I would know to ask is, hey, what's the money market producing now? 4 or 5%. Okay? That's all I knew. That was my limitation. Now it would be, where can I make 100%? 100% on my money. If I invest 10,000, I'm looking to generate 10 this month. If I generate 100, put in 100, I'm looking. That was unthought of.
Yeah.
Okay, so my time frame is they're all the same time. But to
Different
help,
views.
but to help, it's a different view. Why those views even come about is, keep in mind, it's me. It's the person who's doing the trading is the variable. It's not my process, my understanding. It's not the instrument I'm using. It's not the platform. It's not the time frame. It's none of that.
Right.
The variable is your thinking.
Yeah.
We have to change your thinking. There's a scripture that says, be transformed. You're of the world, but don't be in the world, but not of the world. You've got to change your mind if you want to get somewhere different, okay? I'm a trader. I'm trading this life for the afterlife. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
I'm always thinking about the big long-term picture. What I do here determines that, okay? My financials, what they are, determines what I'm thinking about now. You go do a job, for example, if you go do, and there's a lot of people who have a job, okay? Lots of people. Were they ever able to say, today I think I'll go do my job and do 4 times the amount of income. I'll receive 4 times the amount of income. It's not even possible.
Right.
So they wouldn't even tease themselves to think that way. It's not realistic. They know it can't happen. That's the first test. You're in the wrong thing. When I go into trading, my mind is wide open.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was going to generate $4,000 on my phone today.
Right.
Okay? I didn't know 7,500 yesterday. My mind is open.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? You didn't know the other day you were going to pop in a $40,000 day.
No, I did not.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know now with your thinking position, new thinking paradigm, that's possible. If I engage it correctly, let the market do its thing, get in position to let it do its thing. Wow.
Yeah.
Is that crazy? So time frames, all that. So it comes back to the person, how they think. And so now what it kind of breaks down to is, are you a person that's super fearful? When I talk to the people who call me, I try to go into some questions. For example, are you a person that's super fearful? Do you live on the negative side of life, kind of, or more on the positive side of life? Okay? And everybody's different.
Yeah.
I put people into 3 categories. And not in a bad way. It's just that they're either a winner category, they're wisher category, or they're whiner.
Whiner. I remember that.
You
The
remember
whiner.
that?
Yep.
And they're all good people, good souls. It's just the way they've put together in life. The winner is someone who thinks I can, I want to, I know it's going to be, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm willing to try. Okay? I've got that in me that I can get knocked down and try it again. I want this. I have faith that I can figure it out, and they do it. The wisher is, wow, that sounds awesome. That sounds cool. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that. But they can't ever move. Kind of.
Okay.
And then the whiners are the ones that, I can't do it. I don't know how to do that. That's too risky. That don't work anyways. Whatever. Well, people just find themselves, and you and me are bouncing between those. So, for example, when I see someone who's a handsome guy and he's got big muscles, instantly I go, hey, I'm going to work out and be Mr. Muscles. But when I get home tonight, I go right back down to wisher, because I'm going to pop those chips in my face and watch some TV and do nothing. I don't have it. I'm not going to push to go get muscles that I could care less about.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? I'm not a whiner there. But in that space, I'm a wisher. I admit it. In finances, that's what we're talking about here. Which one are you? Which one are the people who's watching us? Are you a wisher, and that's where you're living? Are you a whiner, looking to complain and all that stuff, or are you a winner? Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
I think this. Here's how far I go with it. Personally, I think the YouTube people, I know you probably don't want me saying this. you cut it out again. If this got cut, you know. I think that there's so much YouTube, content creators, so much stuff. It's free. It's designed that way. Did you guys come up with the 30-second little trash things and get rid of it and go to the next one? No. TikTok trash, Insto trash, whatever. You didn't. Somebody else did. Somebody put that on our minds, didn't they?
Yeah.
And where are we living? In that 30-second world that goes nowhere. Okay? I can't think past 30 seconds. I'm having a blowout. Hey, did I miss any messages? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy. If people want to be in the winner category, in finances I'm talking about, okay, you got to take action. That means if you're on YouTube, if you're not, the only time you should be watching a video, if you have students, they should only be watching you, learning from you, hearing from you. Don't get confused by hearing 12 other people. It's terrible.
Yeah.
They'll stay confused. The Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. Do I go with the moving average thing, support and resistance trash, or do I use that, you know, or is it that VWAP, whatever? Do I get level 2? You know what I mean? Do I need my super scanner?
I know.
Do I join a group because I'm really lonely? Okay? That's the 90% qualification. Write a book. Let me tell you who's in the 90% category. And that's why we'd tell them. Okay?
Yeah.
Do you ever go watch YouTubes, all that stuff?
Not really.
Not really.
I don't.
There would be no reason to. Now, I'm not saying, I'm talking about in referring to trading.
Yeah,
okay?
no.
Occasionally I'll watch something. I mean, occasionally. Remember, you can tell on my phone. There's zero. There's zero on any of that stuff, okay? I do my business. I make my trades almost like I'm not making trades. I was making my trades for a second. Matter of fact, here's another test, something I tell people. If you're looking at the screen, you're intending to push the button.
Okay. If
you're not intending to push the button, you should not be looking at the screen.
Okay.
Now, that's scary.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's how I live, by not looking at the screen, because I know how to think now.
Yeah.
Okay? When I go to look at the screen, it's because I'm intending to do something.
Yeah.
You don't sit there and just watch that thing, whatever. Scary, happy, scary, happy. Okay? Whatever. That's you're in the 90% camp. All right, what else?
I mean, the basic things that I always get asked is I have to come up with the answers. I had to say, this is my win percentage. This is my win to loss ratio. This is my, I don't trade with R multiples. This is my percentage of risk. So I had to go through that.
You were willing to
corridor.
take a different route than me.
Yeah.
I'm more for, I don't know why, but I'm more, let's get right to it.
Yeah.
Let's spend a couple hours and let me show you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably not as friendly. Not that I'm not as friendly. I'm not as, whatever. I'm just more a matter-of-fact, utility kind of person.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah.
probably find me boring. You know
No
what I'm saying?
way.
Kind of. You know what I mean? But we're gonna go somewhere. I'm gonna get us there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need to do something. I'm getting it fixed.
Yeah.
I'm just, that's my brain. Purpose-driven, utility-driven. The reason I have the phone is because it's a tool.
Yeah.
The only reason I trade, I really don't want to trade.
Right.
That's kind of interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I still need income.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I think I need income. Remember that.
Dun dun dun.
Okay.
Everything's changing.
Thankfully, I've generated good. I don't know what's going on here. They're always listening to us.
I know.
So anyway, I trade because I like new, fresh income. I need new, fresh income. My goal happens to be $1,000.
Okay.
If I could pop in $1,000 a day, doing my little trading thing, I can live and be happy.
Yeah.
That's just awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I trade. I don't like thinking about it, so I took the time, get it down, and now I really don't have to think about it. I just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You're a little more accommodating. You guys want to ask me 400 questions? And and at the end, I'll tell you you really didn't want to ask me those questions. Here's what you want to ask me
Yeah.
so I can get you there.
Yeah.
I'm more like, let's just get there.
Yeah.
So it's just different.
The,
I
the
appreciate you doing
entertainment
that. The entertainment.
aspect, yeah.
And listen,
It's definitely there.
and you got such a good personality, and you do too. You guys are different than me. God made us all differently, right? You guys need to be in publicly and whatever it's called. You guys like movie stars, okay? I mean, you got those qualities about you. Got good looks, you're nice, you're young, you're friendly, you're honest. You're that kind of person. I'm just a boring old utility. You want to know how to trade? I'll get you there.
Yeah.
You want to get that fixed? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Just different.
Mm-hmm.
So
And people resonate with different.
they do both.
Different
That's right.
mentors.
Different ones, different ones. So it's wonderful, though, isn't it?
It's the
I mean,
coolest.
I can say that. You can say that. You're getting close to saying
I
that.
can see it because I see it.
You get
in
to
you
see
guys.
it. The people who are watching this are, I know how they're thinking. They're trying to see, are they really honest?
Yeah.
Because on the web, you got to have that honesty filter because, man,
Yeah.
it's crazy,
Mm-hmm.
okay? I actually think this. People who are going to claim to want to help people in this space anyway should have to, I say this. I don't believe this, but I like the notion of it.
Okay.
A test, okay?
Okay.
Not I made one good trade and I can trade. I think you need to trade X amount of years. I don't care if you made a ton of money or not. Go through it for X amount of years before you even get to do it.
Yeah.
That would be something. Validation. But let's say someone does that. I waited 20 years. I could show them all my tax return. The tax return is the truth.
Yeah.
It's nothing else, okay? The problem with that is, unless they come to your house and go into your file cabinet and pull out the thing themselves, if you produce it on a camera,
They're not going to
that's a
believe it.
lie
Mm-hmm.
because it could be a lie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There are movies, and there's movies you think that really happened. That was made up.
Yeah.
So everyone knows things can be made up. So they really can't tell here, okay? So I say, when you go to learn, always learn it first. You're wanting to believe me. I know that. That's why you bought my program.
Yeah.
They want to believe me, but you just cannot. But you can start applying it. And when you see it happen from you pushing the buttons and the money's starting to come in, you will believe it then.
Yeah.
Okay?
You'll prove it
That's
to
the
yourself.
only time you prove it to yourself.
Yeah.
Then you'll do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So the questions are you a scaredy cat? Remember I asked you that a minute ago? You guys think I ask a question, then I go off on a little tangent. I do that for a purpose. There's a different type of teaching style. I go off a moment, but I always spiral back to come back to it, okay? So students, you should ask your students, what kind of person are you? Are you scared? Or do you just, is that how you think? Is this really scary to you? Is it risky to you? How about this? Are you a person that gets angry? How about you? I'm going to ask you two on public TV right now. Do you get angry?
No, not really. Rarely.
You're driving down the road and someone cuts you off. What do you do?
I don't even honk.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
I'm
all
scared
right.
to honk.
You know some people kind of
Oh, yeah.
give them their pinky, okay, right? Or they cuss or whatever, go off, right? There's people who have anger issues. If you're an anger person, I'm telling you,
You're not going to like this.
Tough.
trading is going to just get you angry,
Yeah.
okay? Because, are you a blamer? Do you kind of look to blame others for things that aren't working out or whatever? You want to blame God? You want to blame your spouse? You want to blame your kids? Blame your crummy parents? Everybody blames your parents.
That's fair. That's
You want
fair.
to blame? You want to blame? You a blamer? Come to trading. They will
show
teach you
you.
how to
Yeah, who are you
blame.
going to blame? The market?
Yeah, that's and it will. You want to blame
Yeah.
all the internet people. They, you know, whatever.
Your mentor, the market, whatever. you,
Okay. It's you, how you think. These little line item things are the points of resistance to you being successful. Think about it. I'm pushing two buttons, a blue one and a red one.
Yeah.
Is yours blue and red?
Green and red.
Green and red.
How'd you get yours green?
I think there's settings on
Oh,
TradingView.
you changed it.
And I'm using a new platform, which
Oh.
I probably won't get you over on. TradingView instead of TradeStation.
Oh, okay, good. TradingView is a great little charting thing. I mean, for using it. I tell people to go practice there.
Yeah, that's a good spot
Great,
to practice.
Great place. So, all
Although I
right,
think
so
it is blue.
but the two buttons.
Yeah,
Is it called buy and sell?
yeah.
Probably.
Or long
Okay.
and short.
Or long and short. Did you say long or short?
It probably says buy and sell.
Okay.
You know better than I do. I don't
All right. Buy and sell. So it's the same two buttons. How do we get to it? How do I get to pushing which button, the correct button at the right time? What I'm seeing, what I'm hearing goes up against my file system, and it just sends out the signal. You and I and you can teach people how to do that. And of course, there's a million people that say they can teach you how to do it.
Yeah.
And maybe they can. There's a couple people that if I had to trade, oh, let me ask you this. Do you trade short term or longer term? That's part of that question you asked earlier,
Time
right?
frame.
Do you know what a scalper is?
Real quick.
Real quick. Okay, you know what a swing trader is?
Oh, yeah.
You talk about that, right? Swing trader. What's the difference? There is no difference. It's how much
just
time you put in between the two.
Yeah.
See, there's us humans. Let's call it a scalper, day trader, whatever, short-term trader, a swing trader, or an investor. They all are pushing the buy button and sell button, but they like to put a badge on.
Yeah, yeah.
It's stupid, okay? Means nothing. Let the market tell you, hey, we're going to give you money now if you do this now.
Yeah.
Okay, ding. Here's my ideal. What's your ideal student?
Like their personality?
Kind of, just whatever. If you said real quick, here's my ideal student.
It is an entrepreneur. Somebody
Why?
Because they are already in the mindset of I need to have multiple streams of income.
Okay.
So the pressure is not heavy on one source.
Okay,
So I'd say entrepreneur is probably, if I had to make it that broad, entrepreneur is the best trader.
okay. Any ideas?
Somebody who is
I think I know.
totally somebody who has not been trained, totally new.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I could be way going off a limb here. Is
That's
it?
all right, try
Are
it.
women better
Women?
traders?
I think so.
Okay.
All three of that. A woman who's got some entrepreneurial, who's never known anything about trading.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
Because each of those bring potential problems. First of all, this is a fluidy kind of type of grooving with it, whatever you call it, right? That way. Musicians, people who are musicians, you two both are great musicians, singers, and all that. It's got a rhythm to it. You just naturally do it. Me, unfortunately, I just can't do it. I would be much better if I could. Not knowing anything about it is my best student, because I can simply say, you see this, you see that, do this.
Easy.
You see this, you see that, do this. See this, see that, do this. And I'll repeat that, and they will, before you know it, they see this, they see that, they do this. And they're off and going. Someone comes to me who's already learned about it. They've already opened their file up. They've dumped all the poison in. They can't help it. Even if you say, yeah, I want to learn what you're saying, Mike, they now have to, and the mind does not want to admit, you dummy, you spent 6 years of all this stupid stuff. You're going to have to go back and tell your friends and your family that you were nuts. You were off base the whole time.
Yeah.
That's hard, kind of like that. A newbie is best.
Oh, yeah.
But here's a drawback. Everything has a pros and cons to it. The newbie, I show them how to trade, and they go start doing it. Thank you, Mike. That was awesome. Thank you very much. You're a great guy. And they go off. The person who's already been trying for several years, and I show them how to do it, when they get it, they can't stop. Wow, thank you. This is wonderful.
I see.
They just stay on it because it's taken them so long to get there. The newbie just thinks, like you go to a restaurant, you expect a good meal. Thank you very much. It was great. You're out of there. But you've had bad meals. Now you go to have a great meal. Who's the chef?
Yeah.
Right?
Bring them out here.
That's right.
Yeah.
So those are the things of the people. So back to another thing I talked about and come back to, I personally think YouTube, if there's any value, all your subscribers, you got a bunch of subscribers, which is wonderful. People like you. Myself, I say, you want to hear what I've got to say? I really want to deal with the serious ones. I'm charging you something.
Yeah.
I'm not charging you something to make money. You make plenty of money. I'm charging you because it's a gateway to yourself. Wake up. Do you really want to do this? We're going to class. We're going to school. We're rewriting who we are. We're undoing you. Okay? So is it worth $50? If it's not, go find all the other ones.
Yeah.
You want to know where the 9 out of 10 people who don't make it live? Out there.
Yep.
Okay? One of these days you're going to get bold and say, all right.
Yeah. I'm gonna put a Oh yeah. When
So-
I get tired of answering all the questions and
It sounds kind of, on the one hand, the whiners will complain and the wishers will be disappointed, but the winners understand.
yeah.
Yes, I'm committed now. I want to do this now. I want to break free from the job bondage type of thing. Who wants a boss? Who wants to be told as an adult when you're able to take a potty break?
Yeah. It's crazy.
When you can go on vacation and when you can't? And how many days you get? And what a game.
Yeah.
That's just, you're an adult.
I know. It's crazy.
Why not? And this mechanism, whoever came up with it, it's just wonderful.
Yeah.
And now that you can do it on your phone, it's like, I feel like I'm on another planet.
Yeah. It's the
That's how
coolest
crazy
tool.
I am.
It really is.
Every time I pull into a fast food place and whatever, and I'm not kidding, I do it every time. I think, if I could just get that person to listen
Yeah.
for a few minutes, they could do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Isn't it
There's
crazy?
that's the coolest part is you could have a broken leg. You could
Anything,
be 80 years
anything.
old. You could be 18
Yeah,
years old. I mean,
anything.
probably not, but for the most part, you could be anyone.
Anyone. There's
Anyone.
exceptions all the way through it.
Yeah, but it's way cool.
All right, so here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm just going to say it all. You cut out what you don't want.
Okay, fair.
Okay? Your people, tell them to own up. You in or you're not in. Okay? If people, here's another, remember the qualifications I was talking about? Which group are you in? Remember what the 3 are? Winners, wishers, whiners. They're in one of them. And you can be in it depending on what space we're talking about. Okay? Religious matters with me. I'm a winner into that. I don't need anybody to prompt me to say believe in God, trust in God, follow in that way. Dude, I'm in 100%. My finances, I'm totally about it. And I see the results of that life living that way. Working out, things like that, I'm a wisher. Am I a whiner about anything? Not too much. I just fortunately don't hang out there too much. But you know what I'm talking about, okay?
Yeah.
So now, with this, in your space, if you can get everybody to own up, to get serious.
Yeah.
Oh, decision making. Are you scared? If you're coming to trading and you're scared about things, if this trading is like, here's another major problem I have. So far, it's still usually men that contact me. I don't know about you, but it's men that contact me. First problem that person has, he sees it, he's interested in it. First problem, I call it the spousal effect.
Oh.
He's got to go get his wife to get on board. I got to go get permission. Because my wife, this is like risky, scary gambling and everything. And I feel there's a lot of guys that are shut down. And I'm thinking, dude, you're willing to go take some chances, take some risks to better your family, to go for it. You might not make it, you might fail, but you're willing to go for it. But because your wife's too scared or whatever, shutting you down, and so many people are robbed. They're robbing themselves.
Yeah.
In your case, if you can get people to own up, you in or not? If you want free content, go to all the garbage pit.
Yeah.
I went to the garbage place recently. Have you ever been to a garbage dump?
Mm-hmm.
An official dump?
I haven't.
Have you been?
Yeah, in Middleburg.
It's pretty amazing. I don't know if the Middleburg one, the one you went to, I'm talking about a real dump.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay.
phenomenal crazy. I took a little video because I had to go dump some stuff. I'm talking mountains.
Oh, okay, I see.
There's a pile of mountains of electronics and refrigerated, just mountain of it. And then there's a mountain of this. It's just crazy, so much trash out there. That's what I think of the public, YouTube, all that free stuff. Because people are going because it's free, I'm edutaining myself, and I've been doing this for a while, and I still don't make any more money. No, come on, let's get with it.
Yeah.
Why don't we make a plan to get you generating just a couple $100 a day really quick?
Yeah.
And then you can grow from there. Wouldn't that make sense?
It
Wouldn't
would.
it be wonderful for people?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't want. Are you proud that you took 9 years to get where you did?
No.
No. Okay. It's because you were young. I started you young. You're a test
I'm a test dummy.
tube baby.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I had to have that for that honesty reason why, but you got there. Okay, but now you can get people there quicker.
Yeah.
Really quick.
Mm-hmm.
And why not? So don't watch any YouTube stuff. Get rid of all the free time. I mean, the
Free content.
those free content-y apps things, people on their phone. I don't even have them on my phone, okay? I don't even want to be induced to do it. And I focus. And guess what? Because I paid that price, and it wasn't a price, really, I decided to go that route, I don't work.
Yeah.
For since you two have been born.
I've never seen you
Isn't that
work.
crazy?
Yeah.
That's how it can be. Why? Did I go to college? I don't even know how to think about that college stuff, right?
Right.
I'm opposed to it, matter of fact. But I learned how the world works, and particularly with finances. And here's something that somebody created. Learn how to do this. And wow, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wow, are you sure we're on the same place?
I know.
Right?
I know.
It's wonderful. All your little followers could get there. It's up to you to kind of push them a
there.
little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of tough.
It is. It's hard.
But hey, listen, would you rather have 1,000 people that you've got trading full time and wow, or 250,000 that just come and watch some free stuff.
Yeah.
Give me my Coke and whatever and
Yeah.
leave. And I'm not saying they're bad people. I could have been into that or whatever. We all fall into it. So try not to I hope anybody who's watching is not like I'm putting down anybody, because I'm really not. But I will kind of tease you a little bit to try to prompt you out of a position that you're in.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a free content consumer, okay? Get serious. It's your life. Next year, you'll be a year older. When I started trading at 37 and now I'm 65, isn't that crazy? Sounds old as the hills, don't it? Can you see my hair? It is
I'm getting a few.
Yeah,
I'm getting
she's
a
got
few.
some
look great. Are you getting some?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh. So it's just wonderful. So we're talking finances, how to think. It's about changing what you do. Everyone who's got a normal thinking mind can qualify. There are things you will have to rewrite in your thinking. If I'm a scaredy cat, well, good. If I come up to you right now, I was thinking about this. If I get close to you and I do this right in front of your face, I bet you will flinch.
Yeah.
You want to come over here and let me do it?
I believe
You
you.
see what I'm saying? And you will flinch
Yeah.
because that's the way it is. But after I do it a couple times, you will. And occasionally I'm going to pop you. But once in a while you're going to get one in the eye. But overall, you can withstand that, right?
Yeah.
You learn to be in an uncomfortable environment and become comfortable, just like everything else.
Yeah.
It's just like everything else. That's how it was trading. It's phenomenal. I remember, have you ever had a loss
Oh yeah.
losing trade?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How about like when you were down $100, like, oh, and then someday you grew and it was 500?
Yeah.
Have you ever been down big?
Yeah.
What?
I was down almost 30,000.
Okay. $30,000. That's hard to believe, isn't it? And you're still living, breathing, going on.
I'm still here.
Still here. Okay? You learn how to manage that, but now it's no big deal. You learn to become comfortable where you used to not be comfortable.
Yeah.
You learn what input used to cause you to react this way is now you've taken control of that and you're thinking this way. It's really simple if you're willing to undo you and rewrite it. Well, thank you guys for inviting me to come over.
Yeah.
Forcing you.
Thanks for forcing me to do this.
Forcing me to do it. I hope it
Thank
helps.
you.
I hope it helps you too, because what I like both is that you guys have good spirits. People who train people, they don't have good spirits. It's not good. So you guys do. So, and I'm here to help. I'm here to help add that extra little something that I would have that you guys wouldn't have yet.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? I mean, I could give so many cool examples, even examples you don't even know about.
Yeah.
Man, I've learned how to untangle the mind in a fascinating way. So it's pretty cool.
We need like a weekly
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
untangling of the
We
mind.
do.
that's what it is.
What is it?
Yeah.
Rewrite
Yeah.
yourself. Rewrite your mind.
Rewrite your mind.
Yeah.
Rewrite your mind.
Yeah.
All right. Look out for it. Maybe it's a weekly thing.
There
It's
you
gonna be
go.
behind a paywall.
There you go.
Yeah. Believe it.
Yeah, okay,
We
well,
want serious people only.
and that is it, okay? Because it just is the way it is. Prove it wrong. If you want to go prove this wrong, then go spend some time and try to prove this wrong, okay? But the stats, everyone knows in any discipline of any field. Go do it for free. Give free content. You just kind of listen. I've got two pins. I've got a pin that's a $20 pin that you paid for, and I got a pin that is free, okay? Two writing pins. And the writing pen really is smooth. That baby. That's, we've had a
Yeah.
good pen that
Oh yeah.
I love that.
I love a good pen.
Okay, the pen I bought, it's okay, all right, but it's nice, but it's just not as smooth, whatever that's in that. And you forgot the two pins somewhere. Which pen are you going to go get?
The one you spent your money on for sure.
Why? The other one you
There's
just
an
said is
attachment.
better.
There's just an
It
attachment.
writes better. You like it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You will go get the one you paid money for. Everything's like that.
Yeah.
I remember one of our kids when we had the car. Hey, do this, do that, whatever. Okay, never. We bought them their car. They bought their car. Okay, and guess where it started being parked? Not under the oak tree or all the stuff. It got parked in the garage.
Yep.
And it just changed because now there was a financial component to it's mine. I paid for it. I've invested into it. It just works differently.
Yeah.
That's why I charge people
Yeah.
to get them prepared. Okay, awesome.
That was so
That's
awesome.
a wrap.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching.
How do they find us?
TradingTemplate.com. Tori Trades. Trades with Lauren.
Awesome.
Alrighty.
you.
Thanks for hanging out, guys. Dude, way cool that I got to share Uncle Mike with somebody.
There you
like,
go.
you probably
Finally.
just blew so many people's minds.
I don't know.
Finally.
It was helpful. If I were to say what would I try to communicate as I thought about this was to get them prepared on which way to go.
Yeah.
Not that I'm entertaining, because there was nothing entertaining here. I didn't tell them how to trade. They don't know how to make any more money today. We got to start. When you're going to build something, you've got to start first. We're going to build a house. We don't need to talk about shingles, insulation, electrical taxes. We got to start here. My foundation. Everything hinges on that. Which way are you going to go? Mentor or try it on your own? Mentor, then lock in.
Yep.
I only stay with you. Drill them, question them, whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
Get it there. That's it.
Yeah.
And then you can get there.